Hey, thank y'all for tuning into the Just a Tip podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And stay notified. Go check out them past episodes, man, because I don't want y'all missing anything. Because it's great content and great people on there. And this episode is brought to you by the lovely folks of Tipville, USA. Plant your own crops. That's all I gotta tell you. Peace. You know the love, always. That's the most important one. And hair grease, you know. And shout out to Slay by Renee and Black Magic for the retwist and chop. We out. What's up, y'all? You're now tuned in to the Just a Tip podcast. It's me, Tiptastic. And as you can see, your boy is not here alone. To my left, man, I got a special one with me today, man. Mr. PV is what I'm going to call him. Hall of Famer is what you can call him. Mr. James Dekle, y'all.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here today, man. Appreciate you for inviting me here.
Hey, man, it's going to be one of them ones, y'all. It's going to be one of them ones, man. So, my first segment, it's called 7 minutes to get your shit off. But since everybody can't use up the whole 7 minutes, we're now going to 3 minutes to get your shit off. So that means you can give out shout outs, tell the people about you, and you can just, show some love. You know what I'm saying? So the floor is yours.
So, what's up, people? First off, my name is James Dekle from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So, quick backstory. I spent 5 years of my life here in Houston, Texas. I was a college football player at Prairie View A&M University.
From
PV. Shout out to all my PV people out there. I know y'all tuning in right now. While I was at PV, I was a 4-time All-Conference, 2-time All-American, Hall of Famer. Accomplished a lot at PV, where I met my boy right here, Mr. Tipville, USA, through a mutual friend.
Shout out G.
Shout out to my boy Garland. After college, went home. Now I'm a deputy sheriff down in Fort Lauderdale, and now I'm a photographer. And we're going to get into about the photography part soon.
So, I got to give a couple of shout outs, man. Shout out to 1989 Productions, Mr. Harold J. Trotter. Y'all did not catch the show this past weekend. It was one of them ones. I was grateful for the opportunity that man has gave me. So I definitely wanted to show love there. Definitely go check out Temptation. I was about to say All Eyes on Me. I played in that one. Go check out Temptations, man. I got some great castmates that's involved in that production. So make sure y'all go out there and get tickets for that. Make sure y'all go out to see Black Boys Don't Cry. If you need tickets for that, hit me up. I will drop the link in my Instagram story, Facebook, and even Twitter if y'all follow me on Twitter. But we about to jump into this real quick. So Dekle,
talk to me.
We heard the list of companies. We're gonna start with that football background.
Yes, sir.
So before you got to PV, what was your goals like when we was younger? What age did you know that you was like, hey, moms, I want to be a football player?
When I was 7 years old.
Okay.
So mostly being from down south, high school football comes from Florida. I know got a lot of Texas listeners going on right now, but I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. High school football is Florida. When you think about high school football, yeah, Texas is okay. Yeah, Georgia is okay.
Hold on, Texas is okay.
Texas is okay.
No, like, the cream of the crop. I don't know about that.
Okay, to each his own. That's his opinion. But the numbers don't lie. People lie, but numbers don't lie. Florida football is number one. Pull out your phones, go to Google. You can look up the stats. Most players in the NFL. But we ain't going to get into that. I'm going to answer your question directly. I'll say at the age of 7 years old, you start playing football either through flag football, which I didn't because I was always a big guy. So I just started out playing football in the streets with my older brothers and his friends. And, one day I hit a guy real hard and I was just like, man, I want to do this. That's what I like to do. I like to hit people and not get in trouble. So I say, hey, sign me up. Let's go. Let's do it. So I would say 7 years old, that's when I knew.
So 7 years old.
That's when I knew.
So from 7 years old, you went to mom and said, hey, mom, I want to play football.
Right.
So this was just out in the street?
Street football.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know what y'all call it in Houston, but in Fort Lauderdale, we call it murder ball, where you just...
So they throw the ball up in the air.
You just throw the ball up.
In Texas, we call it Killer Man. I know where I'm from, we called it Killer Man.
Okay.
And that's actually how I actually started playing football as well, because we used to play Killer Man, you know what I'm saying, with the cousins, the fam.
Yeah.
They throw it up.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. Right. I'm still Slim Swole, y'all. Don't ever get that twisted, right?
Slim Swole.
But I got that ball, and thank God for the speed, because they couldn't catch me.
Right.
And I wasn't trying to get tackled neither.
Right. Facts.
So 7 years old, you go to mom's. So did you start playing Little League like right after that?
Man, the crazy part is I told my mom, told my grandmother, I was like, yo, I just hit this guy in the streets. I want to do it. Take me and sign me up to play Little League football.
Mm-hmm.
They took me out there. First day practice. Coach lined me up, put my helmet on. This is my first time playing football. I don't know nothing about the helmet, the shoulder pads, none of that. Another guy hit me. I quit.
What?
Right there on the spot. True story. You guys call my grandmother right now. True story. Guy hit me. I say, Grandma, I don't want to do this no more. And she said, okay, baby. Got in the car and left. I didn't play high school football again until high school.
So you didn't play football until high school?
True story.
That's crazy.
True story.
So, all right. So, being from Florida, man.
Yeah.
Third tier state, I'm sorry. Third tier state.
First tier.
Who was like your influence? Because it's a lot of great, I'm joking, but the University of Miami is my favorite football college school. So the U, you know what I'm saying? The U. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got the Sentinels trash on or whatever, we ain't worried about that. We're not worried about that. Who was your influences though? Because Florida got some greats.
Right. Man, if you want me to just be honest,
yeah,
my number one influence was my big brother, for sure. Because at the time when I was in elementary, middle school, my big brother was playing high school football. So, I really didn't have like nobody to look up to, like, watching football on TV. I'm pretty sure in Houston, y'all had Warren Moon around our age group. You look at like, man, that boy cold. But for me, it was my big brother. I seen him and I was like, what he doing, I want to do. So I didn't have like no celebrity football player to look up to. It was honestly, truthfully, it was my big brother. I seen him playing high school football and he was cold too. So I was just like, I want to do what he doing. Hey, shout out to Pat, man. I love you, boy.
So, big bro, basically, you almost sound like Shay Sharp, man. Shout out to Unc.
Yeah. Club Shay Shay.
Yeah. So, you get into football. So, basically back in high school. So, freshman year, you get back into it.
Yeah.
So, what was it like putting on them pads again with your freshman year? Because I know now your mindset is totally different.
Totally different, yeah.
Man, so how was your mindset?
Honestly, and I feel like that's where that passion for football developed, because now I'm 14 years old. I was 7 years old and I quit. But when I got back ninth grade year, it was just like, I felt like I had something to prove. I don't know. I feel like I use weird things to like motivate me. I feel like someone talking about me. I just use certain things, and I felt like when I quit, I felt like I let people down. And I felt like I gave people ammunition to like, oh yeah, I remember that kid, because my high school, some of those kids play on that Little League team. So it was just like, when they seen me, some of them remembered me because obviously we went through middle school together and they kept playing, but I never played. So it was just like, oh yeah, here come this kid who quit first day. True story, again, first day. So coming to high school, it was like, man, I got something I got to prove. I got a chip on my shoulder. Facts. So that really was my mindset, just proving them wrong.
Okay. So, got another question. I already know you're a competitive person.
Yeah.
And what y'all don't know, what he didn't say, he can hoop a little bit. Straight, physical, monster. Hold on. What they call you? Shaq and KD? They call this man Shaq and KD.
Hey, shout out to Chris, man. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Chris Ford, man.
Hey, Chris, thank you for playing for lunch. What, an hour ago? I appreciate that, man.
Hey, so your freshman year.
Yeah.
You in the trenches, man.
Yeah.
So you played on the freshman team. Like, how did you develop so fast? Because we heard the accolades earlier.
Yeah.
From your freshman year to then.
Yeah.
So how was it that freshman year? How did that season go?
Man, I'm going to get a little personal with you, Tip, man. Something that I'm sure you know, but I really don't like talking about. But since this your podcast, man, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. The third day of high school, you know, my mom, she had a brain aneurysm and she died. So, you know, I pretty much took time off from school, time off from football. So I really didn't get back into football till my 10th grade year.
Okay.
But I was on the JV team, but, you know, I had trained all summer. But, you know, when my mom passed, I just took a step back.
Got you.
Yeah.
So in your 10th grade year, so we're going to speed up.
Yeah.
That senior year.
Yeah.
So is that when the offers started coming in, or was it before that?
It was, the offers started coming in springtime. Now, I know y'all might be looking at me like, man, he's a pretty big dude, but for the position that I play, which is offensive line, I'm not your typical, you know, NFL or even college offensive lineman to some people, you know, standards. So I really didn't receive any offers to the ending of my senior year. So yeah, I wasn't a highly recruited player at all. I got them like towards the end of my year.
Okay, so what was the schools other than PV?
It was FAU, FIU, FAMU, Bethune, Coastal Carolina, and it was Eastern Kentucky. Yeah.
So what made you choose PV?
The trip, the recruiting trip.
Hold on.
Hey, the recruiting trip.
Can you you know, go a little bit deeper in that?
Man, you know what? All my football players, all my athletes out there, y'all know what happened at them HBCU recruiting trips. I ain't gonna go into great detail, but I'm gonna go into a little bit of detail, man. It was a culture shock, actually, you know, on that recruiting trip coming to Houston, because the cultural differences are the same, but they not the same, if that makes sense. You know, Houston, beautiful city. So when I got there, you know, it was a fraternity party on campus. So obviously the coach was like, yo, take all the recruits to this fraternity party. So when I got there, I'm just like, whoa. So this is what college is like? And I had visited other colleges, but they weren't HBCUs. And man, when I walked into
Hold on, but FAM is a HBCU?
I mean, I didn't visit FAM until after Prairie View. So before that, it was FAU, FIU, and Eastern Kentucky.
Because Bethune is a HBCU.
HBCU too, yeah. So Prairie View was like my first HBCU experience. Shout out to PV. PV,
you know,
that's
even
what
even though I ain't go there, but I got brothers, you know.
We claim
affiliated.
Honorary PV right here. So when I went to that fraternity party, man, it was just like, whoa. It was just like, wow. Because I had went to all those other recruiting trips and they were good, don't get me wrong, but, you know, HBCU, obviously you see the women.
Yeah.
You know, that at that time, as an 18-year-old kid, you know, just FYI, I'm 35, 36 years old. So at that time, it was just all about the women. So coming into that party and seeing all those women, I was ready to sign on it. I was like, hey, where do I sign at? Let's go. Yeah. I canceled my other trips. So I didn't even go to FAM. I didn't go to Cookman. I literally canceled those trips because when I went to that party and just seen how, you know, I just seen people who looked just like me, which was cool. Don't get me wrong, but it was just the women, you know.
Gotcha.
I'm just be honest. That's why a lot of people commit to universities are the women, if I'm just being honest.
See, one thing because I ain't have any HBCUs on the radar. And then when I was younger, a person told me, like, man, don't ever go to PV because it's a party school. So I didn't register with it, but hearing like HBCU stories is like, damn,
Yeah.
I kind of wish I would have did that, but I'm happy with what
Yeah.
I did because it wasn't an HBCU,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of people that looked like me there.
Yeah. Facts.
And it felt like it because the whole atmosphere. I don't know how. Well, I do kind of know the atmosphere because I went to a PV like homecoming.
Ooh.
And my Lord,
Yes.
if you ain't ever been to PV homecoming, definitely go. It's an experience.
Once in a lifetime experience, actually.
Yes,
Bucket list.
for real. Because that's all I'm gonna say. Because it got some heat.
Signed on the dotted line. Let's go.
All right, so now we at PV, right?
Yeah.
Freshman year.
Yeah.
What's the mindset going in?
2007. See, it's a transition to when you leave high school football, you the man. Like,
Yeah,
hey, nobody can touch you. You know, you the man. You are seeing all these schools on you. But when you go to college, it humbles you big time. And for me, my mindset was, yeah, I'm finna go to this school and I'm finna do Dekle type things. I'm a pancake people. I'm gonna be an All-American. I'm gonna be an All-Conference. Starting my freshman year. Let's go. But when I got there, that didn't happen. I got humbled quick, man. But actually, that was probably was the best thing for me because I wasn't ready to play. But in my head, I was so driven mentally that I wanted to be the best. It was just like, I should be playing. So I never forget our first game versus TSU. True freshman year. I dressed up, traveled, everything, but I didn't play. True story. So I went back to my dorm room, building 46. Shout out to UC building. I told myself, because I'm so used to playing, you know, you're so used to being a man, you're so used to playing. And I set the bench, which didn't happen since I started playing football.
yeah.
So I sat in my dorm room and I said, you know what? When I leave this university, I'm going to be one of the best players to ever come through this university. Because I was so mad because I didn't play. So I redshirt my entire freshman year.
So you redshirted your freshman year.
Yeah.
Are we going to the sophomore year?
Redshirt freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you go. Well, so you about to be redshirt freshman. So okay.
Yeah.
So next year,
Yeah. 2008.
2008. So that's based on when G coming.
Yeah.
That's based on when G coming.
Yeah.
So you going into the next year, you already hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody have the spot before you had it?
No, coming into the spring, shout out to Coach Pearson, my offensive line coach. He saw the work ethic. I think in his mind, in his heart, he knew I would be the left guard. I would be, you know, starting on the offensive line, but he didn't promise me nothing. So I feel like he did that just to keep me hungry, to keep me motivated, and which it did. So I wasn't promised anything. Actually, a funny story, they recruited this lineman from California to come take, like, when I say take my spot, meaning another young guy, another redshirt freshman that could possibly be either, you know, the left or the right guard.
Yeah.
You know, left guard just is one of the positions on the offensive lineman to people out there who may not know. So they brought somebody else in to basically replace me.
Basically, y'all, the Michael Orrs.
Yeah.
Laramie Tonsils.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't want to forget. Didn't he just get into the Hall of Fame?
Joe Thomas.
Orlando Pace.
Pace, yeah.
Orlando Pace, yeah. So that's just to give y'all a little, if y'all didn't know what left guard on the left side of the line. And that's where you get the money. That's why Lawrence Taylor got left guard paid.
Right, facts.
If y'all didn't know.
Basically, I even break it down in a better form. We the big guys who protect the quarterbacks. So when you see the quarterbacks looking all clean and getting all the money, we are the people who protect the quarterbacks from getting hurt.
Okay.
That's the offensive line. Shout out to all my linemen out there who watching.
So you go in, they bring that person in. Did
Yeah.
you feel disrespected when they did that?
No, I didn't feel disrespected because I felt like they didn't believe in me how I believed in me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like that's in life in general. You can't feel some kind of way because nobody else believe in you. It's not their responsibility to believe in you. It's your responsibility to believe in you. So
Talk that talk.
So at the end of the day, I wasn't disrespected. I wasn't even motivated. I just had to prove them and show them a lesson. So I wasn't in my feelings at all. I was just like, I'm gonna show you. You bring this guy in, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
So, in 08,
Yeah,
what was y'all record?
man, we was 7-3, I believe. Yeah, 7-3, 8-3. I can't remember off the top of my head.
So I got a lot of homies with HBCUs.
Right.
Shout out to my bro Chris Clark,
Mhm.
because he coached at Southern. And so PV or Southern, man, who really the big dog? Cause Southern be talking like they the big dog,
Listen,
like they own the swag.
listen. Southern got a good talk game. I'm not throwing any shade versus Southern. You know, shout out to my people from Baton Rouge. Great university. I mean, one of the greatest HBCUs in the world, in America, historically. But facts are facts. Like I said earlier, people lie, but numbers don't. We already know what the real is. Prairie View A&M is the best HBCU, not in Texas, but in America.
So
I said it here.
Did you go undefeated against Southern?
I lost one game to Southern, 2007, my true freshman year.
Okay.
My true freshman year, I went on the field, though.
Oh, okay. So if you was on the field, so
Hey.
every time you touched the field, they didn't see a dub is basically
Hey.
what you saying.
I ain't said it. Tip said it. If Tipville USA said it, it must be real. I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay.
If Tipville USA said, it is what it is.
Okay, cause definitely after the interview, I'm calling my Southern brother and I'm about to talk the meanest shiznai.
Talk to him. Let him know PV the real deal.
So, on your PV journey,
Yeah.
how many NFL defensive linemen did you line up against?
Woo. One off the top of my head, Alabama A&M, Frank Kurtz. He got drafted by the Dolphins. Believe his name was John Gray. Played versus Southern Miss. He got drafted 4th round by the New England Patriots. A linebacker from Alcorn State. I don't remember his name, but he got drafted the 6th round. And a few others that I blocked went to the NFL. I played against.
So what was their success rate against you though?
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I got film to back it up. Hey, if anybody want to see that film, you can hit me up. You can hit Tipville up. I'll provide that footage for you.
Okay.
I'll provide that footage. Because, you know, people going to watch this and like, you know, he talking good, but, you know, film don't lie either.
Yeah.
So I got the film.
So, out of Florida, Jason Pierre-Paul.
Ooh.
So did you ever get to line up against that man?
Yes. Jason, so I went to Dillard High School. Shout out to Dillard, Fort Lauderdale. He went to a school called Deerfield Beach, in Deerfield Beach, Florida, which is, we're about 15 minutes apart. And so he played defensive end and I played obviously left guard, but you know, sometimes, you know, they ran like different stunt moves and he had to come inside and I had to block him. And I honestly believe that was the hardest person I ever had to block. With me just putting football pads on, hardest guy I ever had to block. A monster, a beast.
Was he successful getting to the
Yes.
quarterback against you?
He was. Hey, I don't lie. If you want me to be honest, I'm going to be honest. He did. He got me one time. But in my defense, he's a 13-year-old NFL vet, 3-time Super Bowl, Pro Bowl player, All-Pro player. So, yeah.
And you held your own?
I held my own, but he did get me one time, if I'm being honest.
Hold on, one time?
He got me. He definitely got me.
But just one time, though?
Yeah, because, you know, I'm left guard, though, so I'm not blocking him the whole game. But the one time that I did block him, he definitely got me. So shout out to JPP, a beast, a monster, man.
So you was a 2-time All-American?
2-time.
So after your senior year, the draft is next in your head.
That's it, yeah.
So how did you feel about that whole process? Take us through that draft process.
So going through the draft process, I already knew my limitations. You know, I'm a 6'1" offensive lineman. The odds of me being an NFL offensive lineman at that height is almost, you know, it's slim. It's doable. But just going through that process, you know, I worked out for a few teams. I had a few arena football opportunities, but I didn't get drafted. You you know, my agent was just like, yo, you know, you want to do arena? And at the time, I don't know what it is now, but arena football, they was paying like $32,000 a year. So
Basically on some regular jobs.
yeah, so in my head, I'm like, I can keep beating my body up more, play arena, chase this dream, or I could just go back home to Fort Lauderdale and just get me a job, find me a career, and just start going. So that's what I did. But that's pretty much the process. I didn't get drafted. The feedback that I got back from a lot of the teams was that I was too short, which was fine.
So I do got a question, because
ahead.
is there any 6'1" guards in the NFL?
I only know of one. His name is Shaquille Mason. He was the offensive lineman for the New England Patriots.
And he's with the Houston Texans right now.
So he know who I'm talking about.
Shaq Mason.
This man is a historic, and so he know I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Shaq Mason, yeah. I think he's about 6'6", about 315, 312.
Yeah, because he with us.
Yeah.
He with us now.
Yeah,
Because he definitely was over there at New England Patriots. I think he won a ring with Brady too, if I'm not mistaken.
He won 2 actually.
Yeah, because he got there his rookie year. I think he won his rookie year too.
Yeah, I don't remember his rookie year, but
I think so. If I'm not mistaken, y'all can always correct me. I ain't tripping.
yeah.
But normally I'm always right.
Yeah, so yeah. He's the only guard that I know of that's that height who's actually, I'm pretty sure it's been others, but that actually is doing it at a high level is Mr. Shaq Mason. Shout out Shaq Mason.
Okay. So we talked about your football career.
Yeah, football.
And it was a legendary one too.
I appreciate it.
Because you going against these NFL players. You went against JPP, like
Monster. Yeah.
So you done with the football. And what y'all need to know, man, if y'all have not followed this man yet, please go follow him, because he is one of the coldest photographers I've seen. And I'm not just saying it because he's right here.
Yeah.
Because one thing about, I'm going to keep it real.
Right.
100%. What led you into photography?
Man, something that I really, I don't want to touch on, but I'll touch on it a little bit. So I am a deputy sheriff down in Fort Lauderdale. And, with that job brings on a lot of stress because, naturally you're dealing with people.
Mm-hmm.
And, people gonna people. So it got to a point where one of my coworkers was like, man, you need to find a hobby. And I was like, man, I hoop. Shout out to my hoopers out there. I fish. I do other things. And he was like, no, you need to find something that's really going to, attract you and really make you, fall in love. And I was like, man, I don't know what that is. So one day I went with my coworker to an event, and I just seen this photographer, and I don't know, it just looked like he was at peace, man. Honestly, that's exactly what it was. He was just loving what he doing, but mostly it just looked like he was at peace. So I was like, I'm gonna pick that up. And I went and bought my first camera.
That's wild.
That's it. That's how it happened. True story. True story.
Bro, I swear your stories is crazy and crazy. Like,
true story, man.
This man went from quitting football.
I quit 7 years old.
Quitting to getting a scholarship.
That's it.
Damn near got drafted.
Yeah.
To, I seen him with a camera then. You know what? I went to go buy my first camera.
That's it. That's how it happened.
So, you be taking great pictures. Like, what is what is the interaction between you and the person you taking that? Like, how do you make them feel comfortable enough to choose you as a photographer? And why should they choose you as a photographer?
Before I even answer that, man, your followers, I want to take this time to apologize to you. I want to apologize to Tipville USA. And I'm going to explain why. Y'all just hear me out. I'm not going to be long-winded. So since I've been knowing him, it's always been Tipville this, Tipville that, Tipville USA. And it's not from a place of like hating on you. It's just on the outside looking in. It's just like, this man is obsessed. This man feel like NBA. You feel me? Like this man is obsessed with Tipville. This man say NBA players gonna rock his shoes. Celebrities gonna wear his stuff. And I'm just like, man, I don't get it. But now me being a photographer and me believing in myself, like, I don't care what nobody say. I'm the best photographer in the world, not because of my work, but just because that's what I believe. And it clicked in my head. I'm like, that's what Tip feel. He feel like he don't care about Nike. He don't care about Adidas. He feel like Tipville is the best. And again, me on the outside looking in, I didn't understand it, but I understand it now, man. So I just want to apologize because, hey, it's a true saying that some people, what you don't understand, you judge. You don't know. You don't get it. But now I know, man. And just to follow into your question, it's just that love, man, just that passion, just automatically interacting with a person, making them feel comfortable. Music is a big outlet, you know. At all my photo shoots, I always ask people, hey, you know, what's your favorite artist? What kind of music you like? I hear pop, country, Afro beats, gospel. I hear all kind of different responses. So I always play music, you know, just to make people feel comfortable. But naturally, I'm a people person. So I feel like when you're a people person, you're just going to flow naturally with other people. But most importantly, my reasoning for doing it is the right reason. It's the good reason. You know, I'm not doing it, you know, for likes, for comments, anything like that. It's just I do it for the love. So naturally, you're just going to flow with another person, just organically.
Gotcha. So I want to go back to football because one thing I do know, this man give back. And when I say give back, he give back to the kids. So I wonder if I still got the videos that you sent.
Yeah.
Don't get lazy.
That's it.
Don't get lazy.
It was on a shirt. Shout out to Eddie.
Like it really, I about to say, I made that too.
Yeah.
When I went to Florida that time.
That's right.
I made it. I was like, don't get lazy. Don't get lazy because he literally said that. And mind you, he didn't even know what he did to me that day because that's actually a motivation thing because a lot of us get complacent, which is a form of laziness. To me, some people might not feel that way, but I don't ever like to feel and be complacent at something.
Right.
But I seen you working out with these kids in the sand.
Yeah.
Getting their footwork right. The person you said don't get lazy, where is that kid at right now?
Don't get lazy. Hey, shout out to Drayvon, man. Drayvon, he's in his junior year. And he's playing high school football right now. Same position, offensive lineman. Shout out to Drayvon. I'm going to send this to you, man. So he's doing good right now. He's great GPA. I don't know how many offers he have right now, but he should be a D1 football player for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you see, look at him. He over there producing D1 athletes.
Shout out to Drayvon, man. Yeah, Drayvon, don't get lazy. It started because of him. And it's weird that you bring that up because don't get lazy. I didn't really want him to, you know, focus on the lazy part. It was just a way of me showing him that you got more inside of you.
Yeah.
And that's bigger than just football. Is you got more inside of you. You can do better. You looking at yourself through a certain lens, through the mirror, like, man, I can do better. So that's really what don't get lazy really come from. You can do more. You can do better.
Because, hey, man, he was putting them through the ringer, dog.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, before I train anybody, before I train kids or even grown-ups, I always ask them, you want to be good? You want to be great? And, you know, it's weird. Everyone always say, hey, I want to be great. I want to be great. So if you want to be great, I'm going to show you what greatness look like. So, you know, I feel like that's the difference between being good and great, just that extra little bit. So, yeah.
So are you still coaching like Little League football?
Yes, I'm still coaching, man. I'm still coaching. I do more of the training. Mm-hmm. I'm not like, you know, I'm not on the sideline like coaching 100%, but, you know, I do a lot of private training right now because I didn't want to just be with one team. Mm-hmm. Because what bothered me a lot is we'll be playing a certain team and it's just like I see other linemen and I'm just like, I feel like I could get them better. But, you know, when you're coaching for one team, you really can't help coach up the other team. So mm-hmm. I was just like, I don't want to coach with just one team anymore. I want to be a coach where I could train all kids. So that's what I do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to get to this. So because you gave us, I got to give him a shout out too, because Titus Howard, because you told us, you was like, hey, you like, Tip, man, I need to draft Titus Howard.
Yeah.
We ended up drafting him because you was like, man, that kid's special.
Yeah.
even though he's staying hurt.
Yeah.
But he is special.
Yeah.
Shout out to Titus Howard, man.
HBCU too, baby.
Facts.
Alabama State.
So, when you retire, like, what is your retirement plan? Like, after you done with that, are you gonna look to be coaching, or are you just like, you know what, I'm gonna chill. I'm just gonna keep doing this photography and coaching.
I feel like I'm gonna do not feel like I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing now: photography, coaching, and whoever need help, man. I'm a real big person on, you know, whatever energy you put back into people, whatever kind of energy you put back into this world, naturally they just gonna come back to you. So for me, kids is one of those things that is like a soft spot to me because, you know, my dad wasn't in my life.
Mm-hmm.
He chose not to be in my life. And, you know, I always look for that mentorship, or I always look for that guidance, you know, from a male-like figure. So, and I'm not going to say I really didn't get it. It's just the people that was in my life, they was busy going through things that they had going on in their life and, you know, their family. So for me, I always want to be the person that I needed when I was a teenager or when I was, you know, 7, 8, 9 years old. And I feel like I didn't get that. So it's my responsibility to give back for sure.
Okay.
So when I retire, definitely. And I plan on opening my own studio too for photography.
Okay.
Yeah. You heard it here first. He got it first. I ain't tell nobody else that. Dekle Photography Studios. It's coming soon.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, if I can be a part of it,
let's do it.
I would love to be a part of something like that. Because one thing about me, and I love being around people like me, is that people with big hearts.
Yeah.
People that give back.
Yeah.
People that give back and don't show it. Because there's a lot of people that will give back just to show it. Because what they say, you give with your heart.
Yeah.
You give with your heart and don't be looking for nothing in return.
Right.
So, all right. So, top 5 offensive linemen right now in the game.
Woo.
Top 5. Because I know you be watching and critiquing.
Man,
as football players,
yeah,
I look at cornerbacks all the time.
All the time.
And as a lineman, I know you look at the offensive lineman.
Man, you put me on the spot, but I could give you 5. Let's get it. Number 1, Trent Williams, San Francisco Niners. The boy is a monster, a beast, first ballot Hall of Famer. He's mass. He's big, nasty, mean. Whew, and he got feet work like a cornerback and a receiver. Shout out Trent Williams. Number 2 would definitely be Lane Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles. Boy is a monster. Number 3, I'll say Jason Kelce. I got to give a shout out to my undersized offensive lineman. Yes, I'm coming from an emotional place, but the boy is a beast. Don't get me wrong.
Not Kelce like that.
But, you know, he's 6'2", kind of undersized, so got to throw him in there. Number 4, I'm going to go Teron Armstead for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Left tackle, number 4. And number 5, Laramie Tunsil from the Houston Texans.
Ooh, I was wondering if you were going to say Laramie Tunsil.
I mean, I got to shout him out. The boy's a bad boy.
The only problem I got with Laramie Tunsil is, man, can you please not false start? That's the only thing I ask because you cold.
Right.
You nice.
Right.
And I'm glad we paid you. But can you please not false start on critical downs, man? That's it. That's all.
You know what it is? He's thinking about them Houston script clubs.
Hold on. He ain't James Harden, bro. He ain't James Harden.
Listen, Laramie Tunsil thinking about, once this game over, which script club I'm going to go to. That's what he thinking about. That's the problem.
So, you watch college football?
Love college football.
Who's the upcoming lineman we need to watch out for?
Ooh, that's another good question. If I had to say one offensive lineman, it would probably be Jeremiah Byers from Florida State University. Hey, Tipville asked me the question. I got to be honest. You want me to be honest with your people, right?
Yeah. I want you to be honest.
I got to be honest. Even though I'm wearing but yeah, Jeremiah Byers, Florida State.
Okay. Because, again, I'm University of Miami, he's Florida State.
Yeah.
All right. couple of things. Who you got making the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Who winning the ACC? I already know who you're going to say for the ACC. Who winning the ACC?
Okay.
I already know that.
Yeah.
In my head, I want to say Miami, but I'm not a fool. I do recognize the talent and the recruiting y'all did because y'all had one hell of a class.
Yeah, we did.
So I'm gonna show y'all love that.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Then y'all got the best cornerback ever that come out of that university.
Deion Sanders.
Prime time, baby.
Yes.
So, yeah. So who you got going into your college playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
And who win the ACC?
So ACC is going to be Florida State.
Are y'all losing the game, though?
No, we're going to beat Clemson in the ACC championship. Now, my 4 is going to be Michigan. I'm going to go Texas. I'm going to go Florida State.
I see y'all in there. I don't want to y'all catching it on the podcast because normally I don't show Florida State love.
Right.
I do see y'all getting there.
Yeah. But this video is going to age well. When we look back at this video, I'm being prophetic right now. It's going to be like, yo, he said that on Tip Podcast. Florida State, hey, we're locked. In the 4th team, you can't count out the GOAT. Last few years been a little trouble, but Alabama. Let's go.
Hold on.
Let's run it.
Hold on.
Let's
time
run
out. Cause
let's run it.
Hey,
let's go.
You didn't say a team that, they back to back.
Georgia.
And they going for 3.
I hear you. Look, you know just as well as I do because you're a big sports guy. It's hard to keep recruiting and replacing. And Alabama just had that year where they had a high turnover from the last class, but now these guys they got coming back, their experience. And it's Bama. You can't count out Nick Saban. There's 2 people you don't bet against, Nick Saban and Tom Brady.
Hold on.
Alabama is back this year, but they're going to lose to Florida State in the national championship. I said it here first. September 1st, I said it here first. This podcast going to go viral. Florida State versus Alabama. Florida State win the national championship.
Because y'all know I'm going to clip that part.
Let's go.
That's probably going to be the first thing I clip.
Let's go.
And I do got to do the, I know for sure the offensive lineman. Because I'm like, man, especially, I'm pretty sure you can even go even more in depth and break it down.
Right.
Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah.
But you ain't got Georgia going, not even in the playoffs? They not playoffs?
No. Listen, Georgia, they had a good run. 2 national championships, which is hard to do. But this is my thing.
They got a cakewalk schedule.
They got a new quarterback coming back. And if you look at their defense, they whole defense on the Philadelphia Eagles. Georgia whole defense right now, I promise you they play for the Philadelphia Eagles. They got too many people that's unheard of that's not proven yet. And I feel like that's the difference with Alabama and Georgia. Alabama went through that year last year where they had a high turnover and they had those young guys who had to play. That's not normally playing, but now they done got that year of experience, so now they ready for this year. And the same thing going to happen to Georgia. They lost a lot of people to the NFL draft, and this is going to be the first year where they actually got to prove themselves. But most importantly, they lost their number 1 receiver to Texas, Mr. Mitchell. I don't know his first name, but he's going to be a big reason why Texas do go to not the national championship, but the college playoffs.
So if Texas versus Florida State.
Texas versus Florida State. Ooh, I like that. I like the name. I like the sound of that.
So what y'all winning by?
Man, I take a field goal. I don't even want no blowout. I take a field goal.
So you want Chris? To go cry in the car?
Yeah, he definitely gonna cry in the car because I'm gonna be calling him. I'm not gonna live that one down. Yeah, Florida State versus Texas, but I think Alabama is more realistic. I think they gonna. Nick Saban is coming. He's coming back this year with a vengeance for sure.
Okay,
he's coming back with a vengeance.
So before we go, man.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody coming up either in photography, football? It really ain't got to be that, just life lesson.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a young boy or girl coming up striving for their dreams?
I think the number 1 advice that I would give is to make a mistake. Make multiple mistakes. I feel like as a society, the people who loves us most, I'm not going to say mistakes are, look, how can I put it? I feel like we should accept mistakes more as something that's going to actually make us be better and whatever it is we're trying to achieve. I feel like the more mistakes you make, the better that you get at whatever you're trying to achieve. And even the kids that I mentor, I tell them all the time, don't be afraid to make a mistake, because there's so much, there's a lot of, there's so many things that you could take away from that mistake that actually, if you succeed in something right away, there could be a lesson that you actually get from a mistake that you might not get from actually succeeding in whatever it is you're trying to succeed in. So I always tell people all the time, man, make as many mistakes as possible. Learn from the mistakes. Don't repeat the mistakes. Learn from them. But don't be afraid to make a mistake, because in life, that's how you grow. One of my favorite rappers, I love a lot of his music, is Nipsey Hussle, and he always talk about the marathon, and that's honestly how I feel about mistakes, because mistakes are a part of the process. Anything in life, I don't care if you're trying to lose weight, I don't care if you're trying to start your own clothing brand, I don't care if you're trying to be a photographer. It's actually the process what makes you who you are. It's never the destination. I always tell kids that, I tell grown-ups that, people who just ask me for advice, just like you know, the question you asked me is, the process is actually what builds you. It's not the destination. You know, I'm going to put positive energy in the air right now. You know, when basketball players do start wearing Tipville, when celebrities do start wearing Tipville, that's not you. The destination is, that don't define you. It's the process. It's this right here. You doing the podcast, you know, you doing the acting. That's what define you. So I tell people all the time, man, embrace mistakes, embrace the process, because when you get to where you're trying to get to, that process is what you're going to lean on. That's what makes you who you are, is the process. So even in my life, you know, losing my mom, my dad not being there, growing up in a rough neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale, I lean on the process. I don't lean on where I'm at right now. I lean on the process. The process is what defines me. Even being a photographer, you know, I ain't just start getting nice pictures. I had to go through something to get to where I'm at right now as a photographer. So for me, just trust the process, man. I'm not trying to sound like Joel Embiid, but the process and mistakes, man. That's the best advice I can always give. Just keen on those two, the process and mistakes. And I don't know, everyone believes in something different, man, but make sure you believe in something that's greater than yourself. Because when times get hard, because times will get hard.
They will.
Man, I had times where I looked at my bank account, that thing was red, -100, -200, but at some point you got to believe in something greater than yourself. You have to. It's good to believe in yourself, but it's even better to believe in something greater than yourself. So that would definitely, the process and make mistakes. But number one, I'm respectful to what people believe in, but whatever it is that you believe in, make sure you believe in something greater than yourself, for sure.
And that's how we're going to end this podcast, y'all. So, how we always end it. Peace. Love. Because this right here, this one right here is the most important one. Is the love. Because the love you show, the love you get. Fuck what a strong disliker got to say. This right here, that love, is going to take you further than any place you ever imagine. And hair grease. We out.